Hello, this is a Bluthner style 7-gram piano made in 1897. Very similar Bluthners, as we mentioned before, from 1885 to 1925. Not much change in the design, though the music stand tells you it's the older style Bluthner. There's the music desk on Bluthners from about 1900 onwards. And here's the music stand on the Bluthner 1892. Same length, same style of piano. The casework is generally in pristine condition except for scratching where things have been on the top of the piano and on the music stand. So we'll have to buff that out. I'm confident that we can get rid of 95%. It was pristine obviously when it was sold, and the music stand is very good. But the sides here, obviously he was a pianist, so played quite a lot. So that's pretty obviously something we're going to have to do. And on the top there as well, I think there's music on the top and on the back, probably photos, but you can see that, I don't know if you can get the scratching on the video, but there is scratching which we can hopefully remove 100%. And the sides are perfect as far as I can see. There's a little knock here which we're going to have to repair. So I think that can be repaired almost without trace. So that's our polisher can probably manage to do that. You might notice here I buffed up the B on the Bluthner. Just to see if it would buff up, because sometimes that's underneath the polish, but on this type of finish it normally isn't. Very often it's a wooden finish, you find there's polish on top and you can't buff it up. Here you can, and so you can obviously do the rest of that, and that'll look like it did when we first sold the piano. This has replaced modern key covering that was obviously ivory originally, and very often we have to do that as well when we export these days. Now the keys at the back, they should be beveled off. I don't know if you can see, but middle C there I beveled off. That's this one here, and because otherwise the felt is catching. So I don't know why that wasn't done before, but if you look at the keys, the felt catches and they go down because the felt's pushing them down. You have to lift the fall up then and drop it back down like that. It's obviously not convenient. So we should bevel all the edges of the others too. The pedals are encouragingly low at less than 5 centimetres from the floor, which is as low as you get normally. And the legroom is 60 inches, so not huge. So if you did want to raise up, you still wouldn't have very high pedals. They're very comfortable, even at 7, we said before. Modern uprights and grands are very often at 7 centimetres, so you've got a long way to go. You could add 2.5 centimetres caster cups that we can put under. So if you have got legroom problem, that would solve the problem, I think. Tuning pins are very tight. They are replaced strings. The tuning pins aren't too large because you can put smaller ones in when you replace the rest plank. If we look down here, we'll see it's got a new rest plank. You can see very clearly the delignate rest plank have these layers here, which is one of the two common. Rock maple and delignate are the two most common ones done in Europe anyway. And it has the patent action. We've mentioned that before many times. If you look at the keys, you'll see the sharps are higher because the new coverings were thicker than the ivory. And you can see this is C that I beveled. I hope you can pick it up on the video. And the B next to it's not been beveled. So that's catching the felt, and this not catching the felt. So we'll have to do all those. That's something we standardly do when we put these coverings on. Now let's have a look at the action. We label it when we take it out to the workshop. It's already had lots of work done. We'll see the worksheet in a minute. But you can see in those 11 years, it has been played, obviously, but the hammers really have got the same shape as they had originally. I don't suppose he played that powerfully. These are arbel hammers, so the green tells you that. Arbel or Renner, the two that we use. Regulation-wise, we have talked about regulation on Bluthner grands before. The set-off is behind here instead of being in the front on normal actions. It's totally different. If you press the key down and it checks, as you lift the key up, the back check releases and the hammer should go up, and that's happening on all of them. It's very hard to get them absolutely the same on this style of action, but we're obviously trying to do them as perfectly as possible so that the weighting of the keys feels exactly the same, and the touch feels the same on all of them too. So before listening to the piano, here's the worksheet we've made, and most of the points I've mentioned on here already. It's filled in by 2 different people, so some of it's in pencil, 3 different people actually, sorry about that. We'll pay attention to touch weighting, which isn't too bad. We will be trying to even that up as we usually do, about 50 grams in the centre, 40, 52, 48, and try and make it like a new piano. So there's no reason why it shouldn't be as much finesse as a new piano, though the patent action feels different. That's important to realise, and I've had videos about that before. So I hope that's helpful, and thank you so much for listening. I won't talk over the playing, but might put some text comments.